Hi, my name is Peter Jank with C&D Games. I'm here to show and tell you guys how to play the new game from C&D Games, Quest for the Lost Pixel. Quest for the Lost Pixel is a roguelike adventuring game where you pretty much are thrown into the role of a hero, and that hero has to traverse through 10 floors of a dungeon. And the dungeon, the items, and the monsters are all completely randomized and different every time you enter. The goal is to reach the 10th floor, find that lost pixel, and reach the portal and leave that dungeon as fast as you can. First thing I want to talk to you about are the components for this game.
Alright, so I apologize for the sound quality here, but the components in this game consist of a 16-page rulebook, full color, plenty of references here for you guys to kind of look back to. Also on the back has a quick reference guide just in case you get confused about anything. You'll also get some tokens to keep track of your experience points, your wounds, search tokens, and things of that nature. You'll also get 6 assorted dice, all the way ranging from D4s to D20s. Then you'll get 10 heroes, the 10 hero avatars, and then some stands for those heroes. Then you'll get some gem cards, some monster cards, some treasure cards, the dungeon tile deck. Whoops. We have the potion deck, the time cards. Then we'll also have artifacts, events, and spells. Now I'm going to show you really quickly what it looks like when it's completely set up. Alright, so we got it completely set up. So the way that we set this up, and the very first thing you want to do is separate everything into like piles. One thing I want to add is when you're setting up the actual treasure cards, notice that it says treasure card first floor. You want to keep these separated from the other ones that'll say treasure second floor. So this goes for the monster cards as well. So right here we have the monster cards first floor. So make sure that you keep all those monster cards separated from the different floors. There's a lot of cards in the game, and all of them get a little bit more ramped up the more you go. So I kind of separate them and I place them in these bags here. Keeps me kind of organized. There we go. So the next thing you want to do is you want to go through your dungeon tile deck. Now I've already minimized this down to 9 cards, which I'll talk about in just a second. But the cards you're going to be looking for is your upstairs card, your downstairs card, and then your portal and your lost pixel card. These 2 cards, place aside. You won't see these until the 10th floor. Next thing you want to do is take your downstairs card here, and then take those 9 cards and shuffle them together. Now the reason why there's 9 cards is because right now we're playing a solo player game. Now this ramps up the amount of players that you're playing with, but it keeps it fairly balanced and fairly even. Once you get these all shuffled up, you'll place your dungeon tile deck down, and then you'll place your starting tile there. Place your hero on that starting tile. Now just like the dungeon tile deck where there's only 10 cards, you've also got time cards, and this also gets ramped up for the amount of players that you have. So 10 dungeon tile cards, 15 time cards. Now what time cards do at the start of each turn, you'll flip over the time card. As you see, one side is green, the other side is red. Once you see all of these cards flipped over in the red, you've lost the game. Time ticked by too fast and you've lost the game. Now the last thing you want to do is actually give yourself a little bit of you want some stuff, alright? A hero needs things. So what you're going to do is you're going to take 2 spells off the top of the spell deck, and you're going to choose which spell do you want to use. For example, we'll just use upgrade for now, and we'll put this in this top row, which will go this way. Take your other spell that you did not choose and place it in the bottom, and then take 3 gem cards. Those 3 gem cards are going to be the start of your inventory, and we'll place those in our hand. Your inventory can only hold 5 cards at a time, so we've already filled it up over halfway. So, but these help out huge, so we'll go through that a little bit closer in just a second. So let's take a closer look at our hero card. The hero card has a name, and then it has its subclass, which is just underneath the name. There in the hearts is your life, and then underneath that is your stats. Each one of those stats represent a sided die. So for example, our strength is a 10-sided die, which is right there. Your dexterity is a 6-sided die, and then his intelligence is only a 4-sided die. Now this comes in huge help when you're going through different events that will require you to roll a certain die. So that we'll get to in a little bit. The next thing is its defense. Speed represents the amount of spaces you'll be moving on a dungeon tile. So let's get to that right there. Dungeon tile will look like this. We'll take our hero, move him 4 spaces, 1, 2, and now obviously we need a new tile. So then we just scoot that over in just a second, draw a new tile, place it there, 3, 4. And that's what the turn's going to look like. You have 2 phases in every game. You have the explore phase, which is him walking around, or her, and the encounter phase. So at the end of your turn, you're going to be drawing a monster card. So let's talk about what the monster cards and the battle would look like. Alright, now that we've entered our encounter phase, what's going to happen is we're versing a bat. And now that bat itself right there has an attack of 1d4 minus 2. So the most this thing's going to roll is 2. Now when you're encountering something, you're always going to roll first. You're going to choose one of the 3 main stats, which is strength, dexterity, or intelligence. Typically you want to go for the higher one, and you're going to roll for that. So we'll take our d10, because this is way stronger, and we got a 2. So 2 is not so good, but we also gain plus 2 strength against any monster during the encounter phase. So that 2 turns into a 4. But here we are looking at the bat, and the bat has a defense of 1. So that means that 4 turns into a 3. So a little bit of math here, but that's okay. So now he is down from 6 life to 3 life. So what we need to do now is roll for the bat. The bat has 1d4, so we'll roll for that. And he only got a 1 right there. So 1 attack towards my fighter, minus 2, so it does 0 damage. But here he has an elemental attack as well. That elemental attack is a 1d4, and that he also rolled a 1. Now our fighter does not have a defense against any kind of element's attack, so our fighter will take 1 wound marker. Now it's our turn to attack again. It's only got 3 life left. Let's see what happens. We roll a 3. That 3 plus the 2 is 5. Minus this 1 is 4. That's enough to kill the bat. When you kill a bat or any actual enemy, it's going to give you experience points. And when you get experience points, you're going to try to get 10 experience points, hopefully within a floor. While you do that, once you do that, you level up to your next level, gaining yourself a new spell. Also, you're now allowed to use higher grade weapons, or better weapons, or higher level weapons. And that's pretty much it, the gist of it. You'll be searching the dungeons for a bunch of different things here. So obviously we've got some fire and some water that you need to look out for, acid, but we also have good things like potions and treasure chests. That's pretty much it. You're going to keep going until you reach the 10th floor. You're going to look for the lost pixel itself. Once you find the lost pixel, look for that portal, escape the dungeon, do all this within a helpful time limit. Every time you enter a new floor, the time cards flip back over, so if they were mostly red, you flip them back over, you start off with 15 again. That's it.
Alright, and that's pretty much it for the kind of how to play. Now, obviously I didn't show you everything in the game. Because there are 900 cards, a couple things, I couldn't show you everything because I don't want to spoil everything for some of you guys who actually do want to play. And the second thing is I got a life. So because of that reason, I'd be here all day long trying to show you guys how to play when I actually just want to sit down and play myself. But a couple of things I do want to talk about are these event cards. The event cards right here actually spring to life some awesome stuff. So when you draw a dungeon tile, some of those dungeon tiles are going to have a question mark on them, just like this one right here. Now, this one right here. So as you can see, we have a question mark. So as soon as you step on that question mark, which you're forced to when you have to draw a new dungeon tile anyways, you will open up an event, and that event will look something like this. And when it looks like this, you got a spiked ball, and you read what the effect is. Now, it's going to tell you to do a check, which means you need to roll a check strength of 3, which means you need to roll your strength die, which is good for the fighter. But if it was the wizard, who's really strong in intelligence but not so strong in strength, you see where some of this can kind of be like, whew, that was rough. So you really need to kind of play your cards right, kind of get that lucky roll and things like that. But that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, or you want to know more, please continuously follow this channel, because I'll be talking and doing how to plays. Not so much how to plays, but playthroughs of this game to kind of go more in depth about how to, get into the quest for Lost Pixel. Granted, this is a rough game. I've already played it once, and I made a really bad decision, but I've died in the second floor, and I played it again, and I got further in the, it was just after the third floor, and then I died again. So it is rough, all right? But it can be done, and it's mostly decision-based is where I'm falling down. But it can completely be done. I know it can. I've play tested this before. I've had it printed. I've already noticed a couple things that I need to fix before I've released it to everybody. But it will be on thegamecrafter.com. So if you guys are interested, I'll make sure to post a link down below. Kind of get a preview of what that page is going to look like. Also, the price for the game will be pretty steep. Again, there's about 900 cards here. I'm not making any profit of this. All it is production. That's where this game is lying. Is it's 100% production of of money. So I definitely apologize. I mean, if I could print this out and sell it to you guys, I totally would. But price isn't official yet, so I won't talk about the price. But just know it's going to be steep. Other than that, that's pretty much all I got for you guys. If you have any comments, any questions, any concerns, please shoot them down below in the comments section. And as always, please subscribe. It helps me out, and I hope you really like what you guys see here. Click like if you like it, and you guys have a great rest of your day. Thanks for watching, everybody.